How's it going? I'm back. And I'm redoing. Oh, wait. I need to make a change. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let's go normal. Alright, so what I'm going to do is redo an iron defense because someone on my comments is saying that the game would run better if I chose a smaller unit size, which is true. It definitely will run better. The problem is it's harder to do the defense with smaller units, and they'll break faster. This person doesn't seem like that's the case. Like it should be divided equally, I guess. And well, I've things about that to where I'm gonna say no. It doesn't really equate. So what I'm going to do is do this as a test. So normal is a fourth the size of huge. Okay. So I guess why I say it's going to break faster, or why smaller units will break faster, is because I believe the program for morale is through the morale decline through losses is through a percentage rather than a quantity. Because you got to think about it. You would have to go through every difficulty to set the morale gauge for each of those units, and all these different types of units that have different quantities. For if they lose one, morale drops X a percentage, etc., 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 like that. That would take not forever. I mean, it's over exaggerated, obviously, but that'll take a while. Rather than just do a simple catch-all program for the morale system is done by percentage. The percentage of your unit. So, for example, let's just say there's a unit that has 100 men, and then we'll cut it in half. All right, we'll do 50. So if you lose one person with 100, that would be a 1% decline. If you lose one person with 50, that's a 2% decline. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think they'll break faster, because that would make sense. You know, just have a catch-all percent. Like if they lose, it's based on a percentage. So the formula would be something like 100 divided by 240 or something like that. I don't want to do math right now. So it'll be percentage. So the larger your unit is, the smaller the morale decline would be, rather than a smaller unit having a larger unit decline or morale decline. So it's basically the what is it called? The cube square law, but in reverse. You're gonna give me more money and not take my map info? Cool! I got a bunch of peasants. One? How do you have one? How do they fight some rebels? They had to have. They didn't fight them. Whatever. So anyways, have them all over here. Alright, yeah. Keep your distance. So with 240, one unit can actually hold or cover almost this whole thing. But it's gonna take, alright, so it would take 2 roughly, and this takes about 4, kind of 3-ish.
Move out! Spears! Move! March! Spears!
And another reason for having a larger unit decline is, so this circle is this big. When you have 4 times the amount of men, you essentially have double the size of this because it's a circle and yeah, whatever. Roughly double the size of this. So here, let's just throw this guy here. Alright, so roughly it's this large for a huge scale. See how deep that is for those soldiers? This music is super loud. I don't know if you guys can hear me at all. Holy crap. Alright, we'll do that. I don't really need speech to be a whole lot either. So, this is how deep it would be roughly on huge. On normal, it's just this. So, another reason why it's faster morale decline, even though they have that quantity, is when they push and shove, especially when it comes to like 4 armies at once are kind of piling in one area, they're able to force their way and make holes and divide the units, which makes it easier for them to be encircled, and that hurts the morale of the unit as well. But if you have them really large and deep, it's not so easy for the enemy to do that, regardless of their size, because they can only push so far. But if the line isn't that large, all of them can easily just squeeze right through here, no problem. So we're going to see how that works. See if they're able to push through. I really hate the runaway slaves. They kind of are annoying. Am I able to get you closer? No, that's the best you can do. Alright, well, cool. So we're going to see how well this goes. So they're all going to rush right in here, and then they're going to slam right into them, and they're going to push. They're going to push pretty hard. Alright. See, they're already starting to push Instant break. Instant break. It's that quick. Because I'm able to hold off in my other defenses really easily. I'm able to hold them off and repel them. It's because I believe the morale system is based on that percentage of units taken out. So the morale is at 100%. So if you lose one guy at 50 units, that's 2% taken away from one guy. Now when you have 100 men, it's only 1%. So we're going with 240 and 60, so that's almost 50, and that's over 200. So we'll kind of scale this up by the 4 times by lowering the amounts. So 200 men, so that's a 0.5% morale decline with one guy loss. And these guys, I'm lowering them down to 60, 2% morale decline with one guy loss. They will break incredibly fast. So that was super quick, and I'll do another one. Here, I'll do a different faction. Because maybe they can, or this person can say, well, they kind of attacked really quickly, and you weren't able to get stuff going. So I'll do the benefit of that. Benefit of the doubt. I'd much prefer if they fought me, but if I win this, they'll probably attack me again. Okay. So they're coming up this way. All right.
Units, move out! Move!
1122 720. Ran out of money. I was not paying attention to that. Oh well.
Units! Units, move out! Units! Units, move out! Forward! Units! Forward!
Alright. We'll see. Alright, let me slow this down a bit. See how close they are to breaking through? And I have to pretty much put a full stack here rather than just 4 guys right here to have the same effect if it was a huge scale. I mean, they pretty much broke through here. Because without a doubt, on huge scale, I can fend this off easy, no problem. Smaller unit scale, it's looking kind of iffy. Because all it takes is one of these guys to break. And it's pretty much over. Because my line is paper thin right now. And if one breaks, that's it. They'll all break. You're probably the closest. Ah. They're actually pushing through.
The enemy king runs! Truly, all his people are cowards, and he is just the greatest of them all! The enemy king now drinks with his glorious ancestors.
Alright, well I barely
His
won
men
this.
now rightly fear us. The enemy army runs! We need fight no more! The enemy are in full flight, and the victory is yours!
Yeah, one battle nearly wiped out a good bit of guys.
Victory! We're surrounded. This is a await
So this is... I know I lost this one. There's no way I can... There's no way I'm gonna pull this one off. I really doubt it. No. What is this? Because this wall here is gonna be razor thin. Why?
units move out! Units move out! Units! Units march! Units move out! Raiders! Move out!
Let's see how fast this goes. Because that's so thin. On huge scale, that's pretty much one full... Yeah, it's basically one full unit.
We're being attacked! We're being attacked!
I don't know why they're not charging into me. Like with everything they got. I mean, if they just do these little itty bitty things, I should be able to win. And they're nearly pushing through. I might be surprised if I pull this one off. I'm totally not expecting to actually win this. Holy crap, I'm actually gonna win this. I am shocked that I actually survived.
Enemy warlord lies dead. Now he can drink with his ancestors and watch his warriors flee. Victory is...
Huh, and I barely lost anything. They didn't in full force,
We shall rule.
so that's kind of a fluke. I'm pretty sure I would have lost if they charged in full force.
Yes.
If they charge in full force, I'm done. It's gonna be almost instant. Come on, charge in full force, like you normally do. See, they break through. And so they're able to fight them from behind and at their flanks. They're holding out really well. And there it is.
Enemy king has gone to meet his ancestors. His lackeys now rightly fear us. This is no longer a battle. This is a hunt. No
I actually won.
coward chase. Victory! Victory!
I mean, obviously this run is inconclusive of what I said, but the Sarmatian one was conclusive. Alright. Is there another faction? There isn't. It's just those two. I mean, the other one I could try to do is also the Gauls, because that was another iron defense where town militia were able to hold off against Hazatatis very well. Surprisingly well. What if I do this again? Just to see if it wasn't a fluke. Just see what happens.
Yes. Yes, master. Yes, march.
Just to see if it wasn't a fluke.
Sir, I will go. I cannot do that. Once unable to. Lord, move. Awaiting your command. I will go. Out of move.
It's a weird little thing to happen.
Your Honor. Yes, my lord. Out of moves.
Yeah, maybe I'll do the
That
Gauls.
smell is the enemy.
Just to see how well that goes. Alright.
Units, move out! Units! Units, forward! Spears! March forward! Spears! Move out! March! March! Spear warband! March! Move! Move out! Move! March! Spears! Move! Move! Move out! Get under attack!
It's still very quick. Yeah. But they can hold out much longer with huge unit scale. So
My lord? At once. Yes. Move out. Out of move. of moves. Yes, move out. Can I be of service? I will talk to them. Yes, master. Out of moves. Lord, moving into position. Moving, unable to move.
Are they gonna ignore me this time? Oh my gosh. No, I don't want to talk to you. Yeah, they're totally gonna ignore me. God dang it. But the Roxolani is probably going to fight me. Oh, no, here come the Vandals. Bastards. Alright, so they gave me... So I have 2 extra units.
This is a day for the songs. The bards will tell tales of our
I guess...
bravery that will be written in the blood of our foes. Today the crows feast, but they will eat the flesh of our foes.
Alright, you know what? I know how to fix this. I do know how to fix this. Not this battle, but I still want to see. Yeah, see, 1 unit takes up that whole thing when it took like 3 of them. So... Okay. So... I just won't put 2 units here. These 2 are just gonna chill back here. So yeah, I can still fix this. Alright. We'll see if they hold out. Well, they're not acting the same, but it's close enough. See, there's just no way that they're gonna push that far in. They're just pretty much gonna stay on a line right here. because there's too much to push. So they can't force their way through at all. So they're barely making it. That one made it the furthest. So this would pretty much conclude whether... Oh, here comes the Warlord. The Warlords are able to push harder. If I win this, then it's very clear that I was right. This is a very interesting text. Oh, they broke! Does that mean the rest are gonna break? Oh, they broke too. Dang. I mean, the Warlords did the biggest damage. I mean, I was pretty much on par with them. They didn't charge in like they did normally. They really kind of just like did a slow march and were able to hit me more with arrows with their missile attacks than anything. This obviously would not count if I win, because 2 extra units and an extra general Warlord.
Them down.
But I think I can win this battle actually from the
This
beginning.
is a
Obviously
great
I win,
victory.
but I kind of want to do it again. I think there's a specific way. And then I'll go back and recreate the same thing. If I win, I'll recreate the same thing with the smaller unit size. Just to be sure, because I'm not a fan of, you know, doing something until I get proven right and then not give the opposition the fair shake or the same shake. I see way too many of those and it pisses me off when I see it. Cause it's absolute garbage. Alright. What if I go right here? Alright. Because I think another thing that causes the morale decay in this spot is at the end you kind of saw them get slightly divided right here. I believe that's what caused that. But like I said, if I win this, I will give the other unit size a go. Oh. Should probably have it here so that way I can... I don't want to push because I don't want this weird gap here to screw things. But they have bigger numbers, so they're able to push me back. But I just need to push them forward a little bit and then let them do their thing. Yeah. See, they're already starting to go in there. That sucks. Doing much better than the last run. Just on the percentage ordeal. Oh, there's the warlords. Of course, then there's this weird spot. The only way to really guarantee is to be right here. But I don't want to do too many test runs on this just because the outcomes are basically going to be the same. If I kill a warlord, that'd be awesome. They're all shaken. All of them are. Oh, see, now I'm doing worse. and they're holding out. But these guys are gonna break. I just know they're gonna. Yep, there it is. There's the break.
The enemy flee from the field like frightened goats. Victory is the reward of warrior.
Alright, just to be fair, I'll do it anyways.
We're besieged.
Oh, and they're not gonna fight me with their king anyways. Well... Okay. Easier for them to win this fight.
The day has come. Await my orders.
Yeah, that makes it easier to win that fight. Okay, well... We'll see how close this win is.
Warband.
Alright. Yeah, that'll be fine. Oh, this is not gonna work. Oh, you can already tell this is just not gonna work. Let's see if I can pull off a win. So now they'll spread out.
Enemy warlord lies dead. Now he can drink with his ancestors and watch his warriors flee.
How are they still not? Okay, there it is. Well, I win this fight,
This is no longer.
but this was an easier battle because I didn't have the king. The king wasn't fighting me. That makes a huge difference. That's not him. Where is he? That's not him. No, maybe. Yeah, this guy.
Besieged.
Because the king's gonna be the hardest one to kill. He's gonna have more general units than 28 step lancers. I mean, this is clearly not fair. weird how that one unit stood its ground for so fucking long. It just kind of baffles me there. So I am redoing this just in case that was a fluke. Just because they were holding out. Especially the last one. They were monsters. Alright.
Enemy warlord is dead,
Alright,
slain by
killed
your
him right off the
brave
bat.
warriors.
That totally screws with them. It's not a fair comparison, but it's hard to get to do exactly the same thing. Okay, they're all breaking. You're holding out. Man, that guy is just a fucking trooper. It probably has something to do with it being bundled up the way it is. Oh, this was an easy break. Alright, so obviously this is a win. I wonder if it has to do with, just so clustered how they are. In that small... I'm gonna do one by one, just to see. That's weird how this guy loses almost nothing for a majority of that time. It's weird. And as all of them are down to like a quarter of their manpower, their unit size, he's got like 50 guys left. That's weird. Very weird. So, one last go. Just want to see what would happen if I manually set them. Alright. Got to do a manual set. Alright. No. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. Alright, we're gonna see if weirdness happens.
The enemy army runs. Now
I did better that
hunt them
time.
down.
Interesting.
We're surrounded.
Alright, so now I'm doing a recreation of the Iron Defense with Spain. I have it set up exactly the way it is, just on normal unit size. So we're gonna go against Julii, and we're gonna see how well they fare. Now keep in mind, Town Militia does have poor morale. They can break almost instantly. Like, you can touch them and they'll break. And this is just a voiceover because the microphone stopped or wasn't working. So you're gonna see my mouse do weird things. And I'm not gonna be saying anything. A little confusing, but whatever. So I want them to come in that direction, but I have a feeling that they're gonna come over here, and I'm contemplating on how to set up. But I need them to go over to the right side because that's where I've been doing my defense. Oh, I came to the conclusion that if I throw everything on this side, they'll go to that side. And you can see how thin this line is in comparison of the Iron Defense with huge scale. I mean, it is very thin. It won't take much to break these guys. But we're gonna see how well this goes. Because in Barbarian Invasion, it kinda made it seem inconclusive-ish in a way. Julii does do something a little different than normal. They attack the guys on the right side with everything rather than running up the middle and attacking me straight on, essentially. So a little different tactic that they've done. Kind of screwed up things a little bit. But maybe that's just how the smaller unit size plays out. I don't know. I've done a few battles and replayed this one a couple of times, and they do that every time. So I was just like, alright, well, this is it. This is the way they're gonna play it out. That's how they're gonna act. So I'm gonna have 3 of my Town Militia run down there. Or 4. And pretty much the only thing that's going to save me on this battle is whether or not I can kill the general. Because 2 of my units already broke. That was pretty instant. Oh, there's all 4 of them. All 4 broke. And I realized it kind of at the last moment, so we're trying to save face here. Throw everything I got at them, and hopefully they won't break, and my cav can get there in time. Killing the general does save me a huge headache. So they're pretty much done for. I won this battle. I don't want to say very easily because I lost 4 units, nearly 5, and that's just odd for me because I've never lost a battle at Osca, and I've always kept all my units. Like, I wouldn't have any of them get wiped out. So this clearly showed how much of a difference and how much it matters to have huge unit size over the smaller unit size.
coward, Chase.
I mean, so it's looking like it's more in favor of the way I think of how to play the game, with the huge unit size being the difference with morale. And it actually came out to be how you play it and what you're doing and where you're fighting is whether it matters or not. But you're going to see on the next battle how it's going to turn out.
We're surrounded.
Alright, so in this second battle, it gets pretty rough. So I'll just let you guys kind of like watch how it turns out, because I already know how it turns out. But I do state that I've never lost a battle at Osca. Never lost a battle here going against the Julii. So, and then I also set it up exactly the way I would have if they were huge unit sizes. I play around with this a little bit because it looked weird. Like, I didn't have it set up exactly the way I did, because this line is typically stretched out a little, and this right hand side seems more like this, or it seems more vertical. But I was trying to figure out, why does this look different and weird? Maybe it's because I have it on normal unit size rather than the huge that I'm used to looking at. So it just looked weird to me, and I kept digging around with it. So they did bring something different than what I'm used to running into. They brought in some ballistas. So they have 2 ballista units, a lot of cav. They have lots of cav. But I've gone against them having a ridiculous amount of cav before. So we're going to see how well this goes. But keep in mind, I have never lost a battle here. Never came close to losing to a battle. I mean, that kind of tells you how the outcome of this battle is, but the instant break, just they instantly break the second they touch them. They break. And then I realized how quick that was, and I go to look, and 2 units got wiped out completely. 1 is nearly wiped out and broken. And that kind of threw me off, because that never happens when I have a huge unit size. They never break that quick. I mean, it's just... It was a real shocker.
The enemy warlord shows his worth.
To go
Nothing. Any of our warriors would
and see.
die rather than run.
So I kill him, that helps
You have killed
defeat
the
them
enemy
out.
general. Now his men show fear.
Or
now they may
helps
turn and
to
run. Attack!
throw them
Attack!
into a moral decline. But all my guys, all my foot soldiers they're done for. And so what I was talking about earlier with when it comes to city defenses, you can't have that line stretched thin, and you need to be able to buy yourself time to get your cavalry or reinforcements to show up, or a flanking army to make it all the way around in order to help save your settlement and possibly win. Because these smaller unit battles, I did win.
This is no longer
So
a battle.
I've never lost a battle
A coward chase.
here in Osca. Never. Thought I lost, didn't you? But I have no foot soldiers left, so technically this is a loss because I've never had that happen. I've always had the full stacks, or not the full stacks, but all 10. They've always survived. So that was ridiculous. I was trying to find the replay so that way I could look at that the part that I said screw it, where they like instantly broke the second they touched them. But anyways, when it comes to cities or settlements, you need the huge unit sizes. When it's out in the open field, it doesn't really matter how big your army sizes are. I don't believe, because you're basically going head on and not doing anything like super fancy or different. But when it comes to settlements, there's a lot of options that you can do to save yourself. And it comes down to like throwing units around the city in order to flank, and you need to buy as much time as you can to do that. And you also have to have the manpower to do that very tactic. So with the smaller unit sizes, you have to use up more of your men to hold the line that you set up, as well as these battles go by not so much, they go by a lot faster than the huge. The battles last longer. With the smaller ones, like normal, small, whatever, they do end much more quickly. They're over by maybe like a minute or two quicker. But that's a huge difference. You can do a lot in that amount of time when you're setting up a defense. So my conclusion of the differences between the larger or the huge and smaller unit sizes, such as normal, is that depends on how you play the game, and what you're doing is whether it matters or not. So if you're just doing like quick, mindless gameplay fun, yeah, use the smaller. But if you're trying to use like strategy and tactics and maneuvers, you need the huge unit scale. So the conclusion is depends on how you play. I'm a defend the city at all costs type of player, and that's where I shine. So I use huge scale, and we'll need to use the huge scale. If there was no difference whatsoever, then I'd probably use the smaller, so that way I can have a better run speed. But it was very this right here clearly showed me that there's a huge difference between huge and normal unit size. This was the one that showed that there is a big difference. So, hope that cleared up some things. Catch y'all next time. See ya.